With today's vibrations, you can see when you are prepared for a puja, how much you get. Today you can feel. So the divine is very anxious to act. Only thing you have to prepare yourself. And all these preparations are going to help you tremendously. As we are now Sahajogis, we have to know that we have become something different from what we were. We are yogis, we are higher people than others. And as such, we have to understand one thing, that we are not like other human beings who say something and do something, who can live with hypocrisy. That's why all the problems have arisen out of all the religions. A person who says he's a Christian, he is absolutely antichrist. Who says who is Islamic, he is absolutely anti-Muhammad. Who says who is a Hindu is absolutely anti-Shri Krishna. This is the main reason why all the religions have failed so far. Because human beings talk big of ideals. They all say that we have this ideal, that ideal, but they are not those ideals. They cannot live with those ideals. The ideals are not in their lives, they're outside. But they go about saying that these are our ideals, they become fanatics, but they are not the ideals. By Sahaja Yoga now, you have the method, you have the possibility that you can become the ideals. The ideal has to first to be understood through your brains, in the West especially. What are the ideals we have become or we have to become? What we can achieve? This idea you must have. And secondly, you must have a capacity to deepen your meditative power so that these ideals go and settle in your heart as a part and parcel of your being. That you can't live without these ideals. We can take an example, say, of Christ. For Christ, he and his ideals were the same. There's no difference between the two. He did not talk of one thing, did another thing, and executed the third thing. This will be the difference between the Sahajogis and non-Sahajogis. That whatever are your ideas have to be expressed in your life every moment, because you are that. If you are gold, then gold is gold all the time. It is not gold sometimes, then sometimes iron, and sometimes mud. It is gold all the time. Only human beings are like that. That sometimes they can be snakes, lions, and could be foxes also. But as Sahajogis, you become pure human beings. And this is what we have to know. It is not difficult to strive for it. It's not difficult. Because now you have the power to deepen your roots to your heart. So the brain must be used to understand clearly what are the ideals of a Sahajogi. What are the things that a Sahajogi should do. How he should behave in life. What methods he should follow. And then he has to bring it to his heart through meditative processes, through surrendering. How I give you second birth, you know very well. I conceive you in my heart. Otherwise, I cannot do it. Because my heart is so pure, it cleanses you. My compassion, my love cleanses you. And then I can take you out of my sasrara. Otherwise, how will I do that? And when that has happened, you have become a new personality. So you are very different from all others. Because a spirit has given birth to your spirit. You have been cleansed by the spirit. So you cannot live like that, like all other human beings are living. All the clashes, all the problems of human beings are because they are not what they talk. Ideals are out of their life. That is how a Sahajogi will show himself up compared to anybody else. Take an example, say, of Abraham Lincoln. All right? Abraham Lincoln believed that everybody must have freedom and the government should be for the public, for the people. Whatever he taught, he practiced it. Whatever he believed in, he worked it out. Gave his life for it. That's why he's a great man. Think of Mahatma Gandhi. They were not like Christ incarnations. Think of any great man. Think of Shivaji Maharaj. Any one of the saints. They were human beings. But once they knew this is the principle on which we have to live, they become one with the principles. They do not compromise. So what Sahajogi has to be, that we should understand. A Sahajogi is a person who has got realization through the Kundalini. And Kundalini is the motherhood in it, is the caring, nourishing power. But mother will never compromise with the son. If he wants to kill somebody, she'll say no. I mean, a real mother. She will even shoot that son who tries to do wrong things. In the same way, if you become the mother of yourself, then you have to look after yourself in the same manner that you nourish yourself. And all others also. You have to nourish them, care for them, and do not compromise with wrongdoings, unrighteous things, absurd things. Now, when I tell you this, it is not necessary for you to feel guilty. We have to look upward. Those who are standing even on a lower staircase, if they are looking upward, they are all right. But those who are standing at a higher steps and looking downward will go down. So look forward. What we have in our day-to-day life, in simple relationships, even husband, wife, children, parents. Are you becoming silent within yourself? Are you nourishing it with your silence, with your compassion? Or you are supporting something that is absolutely anti-God? If you become the ideals, the power of ideals itself will make you so dynamic that you don't need to consult anybody. You become the ideal. They are like torches. Your ideals itself will be enlightened. So the first attitude should be, how do we deepen ourselves? That should be first attitude. Now, say a husband and wife are quarreling morning till evening. They cannot be Sahajogis. Absurdities. If they are quarreling, they are not Sahajogis. Take it for granted. Now, what you have to do if two persons are quarreling? The one who is a Sahajogi will leave that wife. I have nothing to do with wife. I have no wife, nothing. Keep out. Detach completely from it. Just don't talk to that wife. Don't discuss, don't bother about it, just detach. If the son is like that, just detach. Up to a point. But no quarreling, no argument, nothing. Complete silence. A silent protest must be developed. But in that silence, you should not be a cowardly person. So many people are cowards. And that cowardliness, they think, is their silent prose. A person who is really powerful will not deter, will not be aggressive, but will not also take aggression. So, in your meditations, you have to sit down. Now, what do you say in meditation? Try to see all the chakras. What chakras are catching? Face it yourself. These might be from your past life. Some chakras are weak. Try to make them all right. Try to strengthen them. Because ideals have to be worked out, the instrument has to be all right. If the instrument is a crazy one, how will you do? So, first of all, you must develop your instrument properly. It should be balanced, powerful, not cowardly. People should feel your power. Of course, the power is of love, but love doesn't mean that you compromise with all the nonsensical things. There should be no compromise at all. It's a very self certifying state. You cannot say when it is so. You just cannot say. Itself, the state will certify that I am all right now. I have reached that state. You cannot say after 5 hours, 3 minutes, 2 seconds, you'll become that. You just mature and you see that maturity within you. Once you understand that unless and until you become your ideals, you are not a Sahajogi. Everybody can call themselves Sahajogi. There's no inauguration. We don't have any sort of a inauguration of a university where people can come and get their degrees and diplomas. All right, you are certified twice born. There are some who are several times twice born. They are twice born today, tomorrow they are not. Then again they come twice born, again twice born. Some of them can be 108 times twice born in surgery. And even then they are not certified. So you have to give yourself a certificate. There's no university to do that. You have to understand yourself. What are your problems? Why you are behaving like that? You treat yourself as a child. When it is needed, you have to rebuke yourself. When you have to glorify, you should glorify yourself. So now you separate. You become the mother, the spirit is the mother, and you, whatever you are, which has to grow, is the child. Mother is the ideal. She is the inspiration. She is the power. And the child is the recipient. If the child is an obstinate fellow, then you can't do anything about it. Also find out You might be one of them. I know who are they like that. There are many. And you can find them out in no time. Obstinate fellows, if they live with 10 people, suddenly we hear reports of their existence. They are quite eloquent. Even if they are not talking a word, people can tell you, I had a fight with such and such. That person said such and such thing to me. That person was so cruel to me. That person demanded this. You know which person it is, where. You see, as diamond can be made out, thorns can be made out also anytime you go near the thorn, anyone. Without exception, it will bite everyone. It is not going to spare, it's a thorn. So thorn has to be a thorn. But if you are a Sahajogi, you have to be a flower. And a strong flower. And an eternal flower that always grows, does not fade. Always growing, never fades. Such a flower you have to be. Then you will be surprised that you do not get into a trip of ego, neither you go into a complete collapse of super ego. So much you know that any one of you can be called as a scholar, I can tell you. I mean, so many times people have asked me, are they all scholars that you have your disciples? You know so much more than any saint ever knew, I can assure. But you know only in the brain, outside. It's all blah, blah, blah. It comes to the brain, you use it to show off to others, and finished. It doesn't even settle down there. Then how will it go to the heart? So everybody's talking big. They can impress people. I mean, if some journalists come here, they'll be so impressed by the Sahajogis. So many wise men in England sitting down here. But you laugh at yourself. You have known all this because I've been speaking too much. Also, the spirit is shining. Let your spirit shine in such a way that people know this is a man who's completely integrated. The spirit, the talk, the behavior, the life itself is completely integrated. And this is what is Sahasrara. So if there is no integration, you have not achieved your Sahasrara. There will be no need to pull your ears. A day should come when you all will raise your heads with great pride and glory. Because your ideals will shine like ornaments. I want to say those days when all those who claim to be Sahajogis become that. That's the most important thing. All other things are useless. Getting an ashram, getting this, doing that. Forget it. What you have to manage is this child which has to grow, who is still naughty, sometimes tries to misbehave. Now put it right. Give it a name. You call yourself a Sahajogi, and that child as Mr. X, Mr. Y, whatever your name has been. And always try to tell. Now will you behave yourself? Get up in the morning, have your bath, sit down for meditation. They feel lazy. The child says, I can't. Then you accept the child. Then the child will become the mother and you will be losing your powers. Excuses. The child knows, very intelligent. It's a very clever child, extremely intelligent, knows how to deceive you. But the child also knows innately what it needs. If it comes to know that the mother in you has developed that personality, then it accepts mother's personality. But if the child knows the mother herself is weak, then he starts taking advantage of the mother. So you have to not fight yourself, but to tame. And this is very easy. You start enjoying it, looking at yourself. Oh, Mr. So and so. Then you won't be angry. I know how to handle you. You're hiding behind there, all right? Giving excuses. And the child grows big. So big that mother sees that and is amazed. Like in Sri Krishna's childhood, the mother was Yashoda, and the child was Sri Krishna. It's very symbolic. And he used to play very naughty tricks. And she said, "You went and ate that mud from there. I know you have eaten." He said, "How can I eat? How can I? I can't even go out of the house. I'm sitting down here. Where is the mud? How can I eat?" "You did eat. I know you have eaten. So, better show me your mouth." He says, "Really?" And then the mouth opens and the complete Vishwasarupa, complete vision of the whole Vishwa she sees. And the mother falls at his feet. That's what it should. This mother has to fall at the feet of the child that has grown. Very symbolic. That is how you have to grow into that Vishwaswarup, into that collective being, into that Virata. Arjuna and Sri Krishna is another very good symbolic thing. Arjuna was a friend, used to take liberties with Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna tried to tell him about Gita, all these things. But still, Sri Krishna could not convince him of that. All these were just outside, blah, blah, blahs. As mother talks are very entertaining, very humorous, nice to hear them. Instead of listening to any music, better to hear mother's talks. And then the people think if they are listening to mother, they have become mother already. That's what happened to Arjuna also. But still, he said he found out that there's something lacking in him. That he has not become the ideal. Still his attention is not there as it should have been. So he asked Sri Krishna, "I think I'll see your great image." Krishna said, "All right, are you prepared?" He said, "Yes, I'm prepared." And then he became the Virata, the vision of the Virata. And when he saw it, he said, "Stop it, it's too much for me." That's what should happen to your friend who is this child. That it should become that Virat. When you see that, you should be amazed at yourself. Oh God, I've grown like this. Just like Yashoda falling at the feet of the little child. You have to fall at the feet of the child that is with you. I'm sure this will happen now. So remember that no argument, no explanation. Mother is forgiving. She'll forgive you everything. You know that. Anything you do, I'll forgive you. Even if you murder me, I'll forgive you. But you won't be able to forgive yourself. So allow that child to grow fully. Who are the children crying like this? Why are they crying? Which child is that? Huh? Aarti has a problem. Take Aarti out. You must clear her. She has had problems for so many days. You must clear that child. Take her out for a while. Still screaming. Better take her out. You must look after them and find out what's wrong with your children if they're crying. I know what are the children still not all right. Just don't pamper their ego. Work it out. Clear them out. It's important. Don't want to be bhutish. All their lives they'll be bhutish like this. I've seen many children who are like this. They see me, they cry, weep, shout. It's not a sign of a healthy child. Bridget's son would not even look at me. He used to scream and shout. Now look at him, how nice he's become. So any child who is like that, you don't say that, don't avoid the topic. Look after that child. Put him right. You have to see that the child is all right. As you have to put your child all right, also put the child which is really your son. And do not live with that kind of a misunderstanding. If a child cries like that, there's something wrong with the child. They are singled out. If you find your attention is going here and there, if you are not attentive in the program, something wrong with you also. If you go off to sleep, something very seriously wrong with you. At that time, if you are thinking of other things, then something wrong with you. You get headaches, something wrong with you. Judge yourself. Clear out. You must clear out. That's very important. If you are still getting into tempers, irritation, anger, there's no balance that has come in you, something wrong with you. If you know how to control your anger, then it's all right. You will find out everywhere how negativity works in small things. Everybody is improving, but it's rather slow. It can be very fast if you meditate. That's very important. You have to know how to make your chakras all right. Your mantras are to be seen. Mantras are to be such that they should not be mechanical. Just saying something mechanically, you should see it from your heart. Again, if you do not say mantras through your heart, mantra is not siddha. Means you may go on saying 100 times, it will have no effect. Siddha mantra is that you say that, it has an effect. It works. If it does not work, then your mantra has no meaning. So the development has to be within and without, and you have to certify yourself. Nobody else going to certify. If you want to give yourself a false certificate, go ahead. If you want to cheat yourself, go ahead. It's not going to help anyone. But if you want to really have the joy and the bliss of the grace of Heavenly Father, then come out of it. Many misidentifications that are there have to be given up to enjoy that beauty. It's such a great day today to meet you all. Today is a day we celebrate in India, where relationship between brothers and sisters are to be established. They're very pure. Brothers and sisters relationship is without any lust or greed. It's pure relationship where the sister prays for the protection of the brother and brother pray, prays for the self-sufficiency of the kshema, well-being of the sister. So this time you have to think of your other Sahajoginis and Sahajogis who are like your brothers and sisters. You have to think like that. Purify your hearts. There's something funny in these countries. You know that. There's no such relationship exists. Purify your mind today on that point. That everybody else is my brother or sister. If you are married, it's all right. But look at everyone, try to look at everyone as a brother and a sister. Both relationships don't exist. This is a funny country where there is no relationship which is pure. It's such a filth title. If you read them, you can't believe it. Such perversion. Especially innocent people like children are attacked. Think of them as virgins. Be careful. And the young girls should know that they are virgins. If they go about with boys and they are Sahajogis, they're not. Sahajoginis have to be chaste women, powerful. Chastity is their power, and men too. After Sahajoga, men should become conscious of their chastity. That is their power too. You see, this was nomadic time when the men used to go for hunting and women used to cook in the house. Men were supposed to have 5 women. They were nomadic people. Then they became sophisticated. Then the monogamy started, which reached a certain point. Then again, this kind of an abandoned life started. This is nomadic life. Now, women also have become nomadic. Men and women are all nomadic and primitive. After sophistication, they have become primitive. This is the problem is. But now you have to become higher beings where there are pure relationships. Any relationship, supposing there was something in between me and this instrument, we cannot use it. Any connection can be cut off if there is something in between. To have the best connection is to have pure relationships. And it should be discretionary. Mother is a mother, father is a father, sister is a sister, brother is a brother. All these are different, various types of relationships should be understood. Women must understand they are women and men must understand they are men. Also, relationship to yourself is very important. Women should not try to be men. We cannot. And men should not try to be women. It's wrong. Because basically they are different people. They are born differently. What is the difference? A man is more meticulous. He knows more about machines, details about it. A woman will see the pattern. Woman will listen to the tune more. Man will be seeing to the instruments. That's the nature. God has created you. After all, somebody has to see this and somebody has to see that. Both are beautiful. Nobody is higher or lower. But enjoy yourself as being a woman. Enjoy yourself as being a man. But man does not mean that you aggress women, thinking stupidly that you are higher than women in evolution. Or women dominating men, thinking that by dominating them they can put them right. They have never put them right by that. They have gone absolutely cabbages. Men have become cabbages. Wherever women dominate, men become cabbages. They have not put them right. So both the qualities must be nourished and developed. And the relationship between man and woman should be of pure love, pure love. Once you start purifying yourself, these things will automatically work out. And you'll respect each other. Actually, you are all yogis. I have to respect you. And you have to respect each other. On the contrary, I find there is no respect. You are all great saints. Yes, you are. Respect. Respect each other. You are not to talk harshly to anyone, trouble anyone. Try to do as much as possible for others. This is the way we have to change. He said, no brand of any culture is the culture of God we are talking. It is the culture of His kingdom, where we give others, enjoy giving, doing for others, loving others, caring for others, without any return. If you little bit help yourself, the divine is very anxious. You have seen today the vibrations are so much that really I'm finding it difficult even to talk. Sucking. What's going on? Just a little thing you did yesterday or this morning. Tremendous vibrations. And you'll be thrown into that. You'll blossom into something. Just pay attention to yourself. And first and foremost, respect yourself because you are a yogi. You cannot be indignified. You cannot be stupid. You cannot be high handed. You cannot be dishonest. You have to be a sweet, matured personality because you are a yogi. I mean, you should call yourself Yogi XYZ. Sure, you are. But calling yogi and fighting and pulling each other's hair, then I would say it's better not call. Try to get rid of your problems, which are very simple. If you cannot tell me, I will tell you how to get rid of it. Face them. May God bless you all.